So good morning, and thank you to the media for being with us today. My name is Nadia Laws, and I'm a communications and public relations consultant, and I am very, very pleased to be able to support the Bermuda Maritime Academy. So for those who do not know, today, September 29th, happens to be World Maritime Day. World Maritime Day is observed annually on the last Thursday of every September, and the purpose of this date is to celebrate and appreciate the importance of the maritime industry and to underline the importance of the global maritime environment, safety, and shipping. We thought it very fitting to host the official launch for the Bermuda Maritime Academy on this day. So over the next few moments, we'll actually be sharing some details on this new not-for-profit organization, which aims to focus on all aspects of the maritime environment, including research, protection, and utilization. The Academy's initial priority will be the facilitation of resources and pathways for Bermudians seeking to pursue maritime careers. That's from high-performance sailing to commercial opportunities as well. So we are going to first hear from the Honorable Michael Winfield, MBE, JP, who's the chairman of the Academy. He's going to share some background on why this organization was set up and its 5 primary objectives moving forward. So over to you, Michael.
Well, good morning. And thank you so much for being with us. It's an exciting day for us. And indeed, it's been a day long coming, as we'll try and explain. While we're going to try and give you some insight during this actual press conference, a lot of the meat is coming in form of a backgrounder and supporting commentary from experts and maritime participants that we will be sending to you that will allow you to build in the meat, as I say, of the story of the Academy. But in short, it began following the 2017 America's Cup, which some of us were involved in, particularly seeing the energy and excitement that the Red Bull Team Bermuda created. It became very clear there was real interest in maritime pursuits. Bermuda's rich maritime history has indeed created an almost genetic memory of maritime pursuits and equally an innate level of skills. And as we investigated this, we found that there are not many resources in place to assist those interested. Indeed, many who fought their way into maritime careers have done so on the shoulders of the likes of Mario Thompson, who is with us today, and our colleague, Francis Richardson. There is little career advice on maritime careers within the school system. Those that were interested really had to fight to succeed. As we evolved Endeavour, another America's Cup legacy, as an entity devoted to bringing STEAM education through sailing to Bermuda youth, we began to see just how easily maritime interest could be stimulated in Bermuda's youth. Of course, the Bermuda Sloop Foundation has been doing this for a number of years, and with Endeavour's developing the Springboard program, which gives real opportunity for maritime career exposure, it became clear that the maritime education, career counseling, and certification was greatly needed in Bermuda. It also became clear there was a need for a wider brief, in essence, all things maritime, and hence the birth of the Bermuda Maritime Academy. What also became clear was that there was no easy road to creating the expertise and skill set needed. So we reached out and talked to many people in Bermuda and abroad, and eventually we were led to Seascope Maritime Training in the United Kingdom. We were lucky to form a significant partnership with Seascope. We also resolved that we needed, wherever possible, to utilize existing resources. We needed to be efficient. We needed to form partnerships with entities in Bermuda. Hence, we have contracted with the Bermuda College for classrooms, with the Bermuda Fire and Rescue for additional firefighting facilities and expertise. And we use the national pool for one of our life-saving courses, et cetera, et cetera. We want to be efficient. We want to utilize whatever resources we can as opposed to duplicating them. We need to ensure the effectiveness of every dollar we have been able to raise. Given all, after much discussion and much research and advice, the Bermuda Maritime Academy is born with 5 core objectives. 1, develop pathways for Bermudians seeking and advancing their maritime careers. 2, identify and develop strategic partnerships both locally and internationally to coordinate existing and future resources and opportunities, develop pathways for Bermudians seeking to pursue international high-performance sailing careers, promote coordination, protection, knowledge, research, and conservation of Bermuda's marine environment, and facilitate improved coordination and efficiency among all those involved in maritime charitable entities. We elected to focus initially on education and maritime career support, and that led us to the Maritime Coast Guard Agency of the United Kingdom and the Stcw courses, which we will explain shortly. Today is just the start. As of the end of October, we will be offering the 5 basic STCW courses in Bermuda, and in doing so, creating a groundbreaking moment for people interested in maritime careers. And with that, we will be certified to issue full internationally recognized certification. Beyond that, we will roll out new courses and new opportunities that our advisors suggest should be prioritized and simultaneously start to evolve our focus with the other core objectives that I previously mentioned. Today, Bermuda has brought reality to its hundreds of years of maritime history, utilization, innovation, and indeed success. And today we are opening doors to a significant area of opportunity for our future. Anyone seeking further information should go to our website, Bermuda Maritime Academy, all together. Again, BermudaMaritimeAcademy.com. Let me stop there and hand it over to an individual who is one of the few who have battled their way into a prominent and successful maritime career, and someone who has counseled so many young Bermudians towards maritime careers, someone who can provide background to our motivation and the need for our services. Please meet one of my founding board members and Bermuda's pilot warden, Mr. Mario Thompson.
Yes. Good morning, and thank you, Mike. Based on the introduction that I got as a schoolboy, I was able to make a solid career choice to work on boats. Over the past 40 years, I've carved out a career as a branch pilot from apprentice and worked my way through to my current position as the pilot warden. Along the way, I developed the need to give back and became a coastal navigation instructor in the community education program. With a passion for higher learning and for personal development of others, my teaching experience in the community schools led me to an area of coaching and mentoring maritime students. Over the past 10 years, I took on the role as training liaison officer for maritime students enrolled in maritime colleges in the US, UK, and Canada. Enrollment in the Nautical College for Bermudian students was somewhat seamless. Finding a berth for cadets at sea for practical training was challenging, not to mention the financial element. This involved networking with personnel from Marine and Ports, the Department of Workforce Development, in conjunction with local and foreign shipping companies that owned or managed container ships, cargo ships, passenger ships, toll ships, and oil tankers. Recognizing that there was no established pathway for maritime students, I was always seeking networking opportunities within the business community of Bermuda. As the unofficial TLO, training liaison officer, I coached and mentored a number of maritime students from enrollment on to earning their COC, Maritime Diploma. Two classic examples of diversity of maritime students to highlight would be the career paths of Kristen Green and Vernon Harrison. They both started as M3 students on the Spirit of Bermuda. After attaining their COC, these gentlemen have taken different career paths. Successful in their own rights, Kristen chose the Merchant Ship Navy route, and is now employed on motor yachts. Vernon is a ship operator and licensed as a first-class branch pilot for the Department of Marine and Port Services. Along the way, I have served as a committee member on the scholarship board for Concordia Maritime and the Bermuda Maritime and Shipping Authority. Along the way, I had a vision to complement the Spirit of Bermuda program. The Endeavor Springboard program seemed to be that perfect launching pad to move to the next level of an official training program for Bermuda Maritime students. The launch of the Bermuda Maritime Academy is a realization of a long-held dream of mine. My years of experience in this field gave me the knowledge to say that the Maritime Academy is both necessary and important for Bermuda as we aim to create maritime training and employment opportunities. The Stcw courses are just the beginning. Additional courses not yet currently available, such as power boat, leisure boat, and equivalent to the RYA standard, the boat masters, may well follow. Parallel to this, it is equally important to maintain ongoing sponsorship to support our educational pursuits. The Maritime Academy hopes to be that one-stop facility that offers training, guidance, and career pathways for Bermuda Maritime students. This is certainly a heartwarming day in my career. It has been a long time coming and is much needed. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce my fellow board member, Angelique Burgess. She will discuss the resources and opportunities and explain the training initiatives being undertaken by the Maritime Academy. Angelique is Director and past President of WISTA Bermuda, the Women's International Shipping and Trading Association. Angelique is also the Deputy Chair of the Bermuda Maritime and Shipping Authority, BSMA. Angelique.
Good morning. As a director,
Angelique, you're muted.
sorry. Good morning. As director and chair of the board's Education and Scholarship Committee, I support the 5 core objectives as explained by the chairman previously, and I'm pleased to be asked to share in this specific goal. Having been a keen supporter and encouraging young adults to consider a career in the shipping industry for many years. My experience started at the Bermuda Registry of Shipping, then moving on to Concordia Maritime Bermuda Limited, and now I'm at TK Corporation, both international shipping companies. As mentioned previously, I'm one of the founding members of WISTA Bermuda and the past president. WISTA International, which stands for the Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, is a networking organization that promotes and supports women in the maritime sector. It is for these reasons that I support the Maritime Academy. Some of the objectives that the Education Committee look to achieve include the following: developing pathways for Bermudians to enter and/or advance their maritime careers. We also look to provide an online library to assist persons who are considering attending overseas schools. The library will list the top maritime institutions in the UK, Canada, the US, and the Caribbean. And in time, we look to provide guidance and financial support to qualified applicants. We also look to collaborate with overseas institutions and agencies to make available short maritime courses and online information sessions. Another objective is that we are partnered with the Department of Workforce Development to devise a registration process whereby persons who may be interested in attending the Academy's courses can apply for sponsorship through the Workforce Development. This work is ongoing at this time. Once the information is finalized and approved, we will share more details. As it relates to the target audience, we feel that a number of businesses and individuals can benefit from the STCW training. And this includes the marine and port staff, tour boat operators, local fishermen, students who are intending to pursue maritime cadet programs overseas, as the STCW is a prerequisite for attendance to those institutions. We also look to see how we can tap into the cruise ship personnel. As you know, many cruise ships comes to the islands and they would stay for 3 to 4 days. All persons on board those vessels must have STCW certification. And every 5 years, they're required to get recertified. So we're looking to see how we can tap into that area to provide that training. So having the training on the island is a great investment for the future development of maritime training in Bermuda, while providing new jobs and revenue. We look to advertise the courses, as mentioned previously, on the Academy's website at bermudamaritimeacademy.com. We will also be circulating this information to our industry stakeholders, as well as in the local media and on social media platforms once available. I will now introduce Alan Berlin, the Deputy Chair and lead of the STCW initiative. Alan is no stranger to the maritime, having represented Bermuda as an Olympic sailor. He's also one of the founding members of the Bermuda Sloop and a key member of the AC Bermuda team in 2017. Alan?
Yeah, good morning. I'm delighted to announce that the Bermuda Maritime Academy has achieved formal approval from the Maritime and Coastal Agency, which is the MCA, to deliver the mandated STCW training on the island. And STCW stands for what it means is Standards of Training and Certification for Watchkeeping. And it applies to all commercial seafarers, from deck officers and engineers to service staff on cruise ships. This is essential mandated entry-level training. To date, these courses have only been available in a very limited number of overseas jurisdictions. For the first time, it is now possible for us to certify commercial seafarers here in Bermuda. This is both significant and cost-effective. Delivering training locally has many advantages. It will save both time and money and eliminate the need for disruptive overseas travel. And I'll give you a little background on why we're delivering these courses. The body that governs shipping worldwide is the International Maritime Organization, the IMO. And the IMO has mandated that all commercial seafarers must complete basic STCW training. And Bermuda, being a British overseas territory, is a red ensign state, is governed on maritime matters, including training and certification, by the MCA. The MCA's standards for certification are the most widely recognized and accepted in the world. Such international recognition is very important, as it will allow our graduates access to virtually all ships anywhere in the world. And furthermore, STCW requires and the MCA require refresher courses every 5 years. We have consulted top experts at every step to ensure top quality training. We're working closely with a well-established MCA certified training organization called Stcw. They're from Liverpool in the UK. They also have training facilities in Spain and France. We are engaging and training local trainers under the direction of Stcw. In time, most of the training will be delivered by Bermudians. In late August, just a month ago, following rigorous auditing by the MCA's lead examiner over an 8-day period with 3 senior trainers from Stcw, we delivered the first STCW training on the island. We have now received approval to deliver these courses. There are 5 main elements of STCW training, and they're delivered over the course of 5 days. The first is fire prevention and firefighting, and that's an extensive course over 2 days, split between classroom and practical training. The BMA purchased a specialized marine fire training unit from the UK to assist with the delivery of this course. FLSA, a local company, will assist as local fire trainers. The second course is elementary first aid, and it includes significant practical training. Thirdly, personal survival techniques, and that includes on-the-water training on survival techniques, clothing, equipment, life raft deployment and use. Fourthly, personal safety and social responsibility. And that we teach there about learning about protecting the oceans from pollution and workers' rights. And fifthly, proficiency and security awareness. And we also deliver some additional training on crowd management. The courses will start in earnest on the 24th of October. And as has been said previously, this STCW training is just the start. There are other MCA accredited, internationally recognized courses that will follow. In the future, these courses will be available to visiting international seafarers, including crews of super yachts, cruise ships, merchant marine, and so on. And thereby it offers new opportunities to the Maritime Academy and our trainers. In short, more jobs and more revenue for Bermuda. And in closing, I'd just like to thank the numerous organizations and sponsors who have assisted us to date. And I can't name them all, but in due time they will be named. But certainly the BSMA, the Department of Marine and Ports, the Department of Workforce Development, and many other local organizations and individuals who provide us with assistance in financing, shipping, construction, trucking, and other services. And as mentioned previously, interested parties should visit our website, which is BermudaMaritimeAcademy.com, and email info@BermudaMaritimeAcademy.com. I'll now hand it back to Nadia. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. So in a few moments, we're actually going to open up the floor to any media that have any questions. But before that, I just wanted to, first of all, acknowledge 2 other women that are on the call, Nikisha and Eleanor Barber, who have been working extremely hard behind the scenes to bring the Academy to fruition. So that was that. And I also wanted to actually throw a question, if it's okay, at, I think maybe Alan and Michael might be able to answer this one. But what would you say is the difference between the Bermuda Sleep Foundation and Endeavor program and the work that the Academy is going to be doing?
Interesting. I mean, Alan is, of course, the force behind, I mean, I remember years ago, Alan putting this whole Sloop Foundation together. It's his vision, or at least his primary vision. And I was a founding director and continue to be director of Endeavour. So I think we're pretty knowledgeable on the subject. But I think what I would say to that, Alan, is that both the Sloop Foundation and Endeavour work to get kids, expose them to a number of skills, of which sailing is just almost a byproduct, because we're talking about team, we're talking about morale, we're talking about leadership skills, we're talking about this, certainly in Endeavour, the steam. But what we do is we whet their appetite, as has already been evidenced to the number of people that have gone through the Sloop Foundation on to maritime careers. And we're finding, I think, in both organizations that indeed people are getting interested, and certainly as they go through the Springboard program with Endeavour, they're saying, okay, well, how do I move from here? What's the next step? And clearly the entry level next step is STCW. So while we will endeavor to help Endeavour and Sloop Foundation with looking at ways we can make more efficiency and getting more maritime charities together to discuss how we can better utilize dollars, invested dollars. We hope to provide in these two objectives, the education and the career and counseling objectives, a one-stop shop, as Mario, I think, said, and Angelique said, a one-stop shop to careers. They'll start in the Sloop Foundation Endeavour, and we will then be available to provide career advice, counseling, and support.
Thank you. Owen or Gabrielle, do either of you have any questions? I know that Gabrielle has to run, but any questions from the media at this time?
Yes, Owen Johnson Barnes with the Royal Gazette. Thank you very much for the invite. How much do these courses that are starting in October, how much will they actually cost people involved compared to how much it would cost if they had to fly overseas for the same courses? Because I don't know where they would have to travel.
Okay, well, I'm happy to answer that. The courses are going to be $2,750 is the initial price, and hopefully over time we may be able to reduce that.
That is for all five, Alan.
Yeah, all five elements, yeah. And in the discussions we've had with workforce development, they're looking to provide scholarships that, maybe 50% of that cost may be more. And our academy, as we grow, would look to create a bit of a fund too to help aspiring Bermudians who might need the help.
And just to capitalize on that, the cost of getting to England, which is where most of the red flag STCW facilities would be, is that amount alone plus. And then take away that, the 5, probably 8 or 10 working days that are lost through productivity of training. So we're more efficient. It's easier for people to work and go home to their own beds. And the courses will probably, I would suspect it will be in the region of half the cost of what the overall cost for other courses would be.
In terms of career opportunities, what is out there available for well-trained Bermudians?
I mean, it's unlimited. Mario may want to talk about this as well, but there is a shortage of English-speaking mariners in the world. So, an aspiring Bermudian, could end up working on, and some have, on merchant marine ships, on cruise ships, on super yachts. There's a rich field of opportunity for them, and someone who chooses to be a marine engineer, when it comes time that they want to not do as much sea time, they're ideal people to be facilities managers in buildings and so on. So there's a really good prospects for young Bermudians entering this field.
Yeah, so and I could also add on to that specifically, thank you, Alan, that there are a whole slew of career opportunities available in the maritime industry for young Bermudians, in the Department of Marine and Ports, within the ferry boat and tugboat fleets, within the Bermuda Branch Pilot Service, within Harbor Radio. We kind of overlook. And in fact, that's a very challenging area to get certified presence. And they all go through this initial training that I made mention of earlier as the COC and the Maritime Diploma. But the STCW is the entry level for them to go to sea. So apart from what is available locally, from what is Stephen Door Services, the maritime shipping, what is law, maritime law is also a good area that a person can gain formal training in an area that we're hoping to expand upon. And not to mention that we have a number of young people that are overseas engaged, fully engaged as ship navigators and engineers on cargo ships primarily. And there are some that are also involved in motor yacht industry. And this foundation came from the sloop. A lot of them came from the sloop and the experience that they got as youngsters growing up. So there's a lot of experience out there for them to go on.
And a final question, can you give us a little bit more details about what the interest is in these sorts of careers, in this sort of industry right now amongst young Bermudians?
You know, we all probably, Angelique may want to comment on this too, but I mean, just looking, as I said in the bit I opened, but you go back to the Red Bull Bermuda team. And if Alan was to talk about, I think he would say about, you know, the spirit of Bermuda, you watch kids' eyes light up. We had, I think, for the Red Bull team, we had something like 1,000 young Bermudians apply to be crew on that Red Bull team. Once the opportunity was there, Bermudians went after it. And it's like Spirit and Endeavor are igniting memories, you know, almost innate memories of we can do this. And we are interested in this. Bermuda is natural places on the waters of Bermuda, and indeed the waters of the world. And I think Bermudians and Bermuda can make a significant, even greater impact on the maritime industry as a whole by becoming a core element, a core facility, a core structure, or positioning Bermuda as a place of maritime specialty, it's maritime interest and maritime knowledge. And in the long term, I think that's where we're going. And this is just a beginning, but I have absolutely no doubt that the interest is there. The big question, and the answer specifically on it, we don't know. You know, it hasn't been there before. We're getting a lot of people asking questions. We're oversubscribed in the voluntary programs at Endeavor. So it's there. And one of the big things is the liaison with, of course, the education department. To try and build knowledge that we exist and we can provide this one-stop maritime counseling and career maritime counseling advice, but also to stimulate further interest and to test, both from education perspective and from Mario and all his colleagues and the groups that Angelique will be reaching out to, the expertise that tells us these are the priorities. This is where you need to get qualified. The Bermuda government, for instance, is, I think, going to legislate in the very near future that anybody involved in commercial shipping in Bermuda, and that's from tour boat operators to you know, people doing glass bottom boats, etc., are going to have these STCW qualifications. That's hundreds of people that need to be certified. But when they take that, they will have passed a course that will enable them to serve on a tanker in Japan. We're transitioning from national skills and qualifications to internationally recognized certification that enables people to have international careers.
Yeah, and I would just like to add that there is a worldwide shortage of seafarers working in the industry. So as Alan had stated, once they get this STCW certification, that will enable them to travel worldwide. They can then apply for any job with any shipping agency because they would have that basic requirement, which has been lacking in Bermuda for some time. So I think this is a good step in assisting our young people and helping them to understand that the opportunities are worldwide. Working on the cruise ships, all of them, they need STCW. So this is their ticket that will enable them to pursue whatever dream in the maritime career that they desire.
Thank you, Owen, for those great questions. And I thank you everyone for being here with us today. I just wanted to repeat one thing that Alan had shared at the end of his presentation, but the start date for courses is October 24th. So with that said, please look out for the press release and the background presentation that we mentioned. We will send that as well as the recording for this. And if you have any more information or need any more information, I should say, or have more questions, you can just either look at the website, which is www.bermudamaritimeacademy.com, or you can email info@bermudamaritimeacademy.com. So with that said, thank you so much for being here, and we hope you have a good day and good luck with the play as well. Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you, Owen. Much appreciated. Okay. Eleanor, come on with us. Yeah, here we are.
I'm just gonna stop.
Guys,
I'm just gonna stop the
how we do?